Welcome to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. And no matter what part of the journey you or your family are on, it's always nice to check in with this show so that we can kind of look at different organizations, different businesses, cutting edge therapies, talk to families who live life with the spectrum. And I am delighted to speak with you today, Nicole Deward, who runs Rise Coffee. Hi, thank you for coming on.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I am excited to share what's going on in the Rise world.
Now, first off, I have to tell everybody who, because we have a lot of viewers from all over the world, and Nicole Deward runs Rise Coffee here in Roswell, Georgia, and you have had so much TV coverage. The minute I saw you on TV, I was like, I got to talk to you.
Oh, yay. That was awesome. Well, they came out and filmed us because we opened the week COVID hit. So I remember getting a call from, I think it was 11 Alive, and they were like, could we come and do a story? I'm like, please. So it was awesome.
So tell me a little bit about Rise Coffee. It's not just your ordinary coffee house.
Correct, correct. Well, there's a couple things that definitely set us apart. And anytime someone starts a business, a lot of that has to do with who owns the business for the type of personality and flair that a business tends to have. And so I'm a mom, first and foremost. Well, first and foremost, I'm a wife. Been
Right.
married 22 years, and my husband is a saint. And in fact, I was just interviewed a couple weeks ago, and I said my main thing is that my husband has been my rock through this whole uh, business building, and I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and so I see a problem and I find a solution. And so he's an engineer, so he has the same kind of feel, but not from the entrepreneur side. So I've been a stay-at-home mom most of my life, and then when my youngest went into I have four children. I have two middle kids have special needs, autism and Down syndrome. And so when I actually became a personal trainer back in 2008. And so I was doing that on the side and helping people get healthy. And then we moved here to Georgia.
From where?
From I was Michigan to North Carolina to Georgia.
You kept making your way
And
south.
so making my way down south. That's right. I was done with the cold. So I was like, we have got to make this a better situation, especially for the kids. And then I got to benefit from the Georgia heat.
Right.
But yeah, so after doing personal training, I super have a heart to help people move forward in their life from a health perspective. I have a virtual health coaching practice that I've been doing since 2011 as well. And then God just started putting this thing on my heart to open a coffee shop, not for me, though I have a big love for coffee. I was actually mentored and raised in a coffee shop with my spiritual mentor. But really, it was for people with special needs to have a different option than bagging groceries at Kroger. Not that that's all I saw. I'm
I
like,
was just going to say that.
oh, like Becca's not going to be able to do that. She loves everyone so much she would totally go home with one of the customers. And so
I like that was your
yeah,
inspiration to change the like kind of stereotypical all you'll ever do is amount to working at
yeah,
Publix or Kroger.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I love that. And giving people a different opportunity to learn something new.
Absolutely. And then I have the coffee shop idea happened because when the kids that are in an MID program in the schools, mentally intellectually disabled, they actually have coffee shop here in Georgia, where they, especially in Cobb County, I guess that's where I'm from, so I don't know if other counties do this.
Is it Joy? Joy Coffee?
No, no, in the schools they
Oh.
get to do coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
So when they're in school, they have Raider Joe's coffee, and they have what was the coffee shop in high school? They have that as one of their hours where they get to serve in the coffee shop. And so now my daughter is at Transition Academy, and they have a coffee shop as well, where the students and the faculty can come early in the morning and get their coffee, and that's part of their curriculum. And so I thought, well, all these kids are learning coffee shop. They're learning how to count money. They're learning how to serve customers. They're learning how to give baked goods. Why not do that in real life? And actually give an opportunity for them to use those skills that they're learning in school in a real life opportunity. So lo and behold, there were other people doing this as well, but in a nonprofit setting.
I'm speaking with Nicole Deward, who runs Rise Coffee Shop in Roswell, Georgia. Nicole, how many employees do you have?
Well, that is always ebbing and flowing. My last count, we had 31 employees.
Wow.
And so that's always an ebbing and flowing because there in the special needs world, what we find is that everyone is on a different ability level for how long they have stamina or for the types of things that they can do. And so as I was looking at coffee shops all across America, I have friends in Michigan, I have friends in New York who are doing these types of things. They are nonprofits. And so and that's, I'm now realizing, as I've been in 2.5 years in a for-profit setting, I understand why people do nonprofit for a coffee shop that employs people with special needs. However,
Right.
because my Shine Health and Wellness Center is right next door, Rise and Shine. We have a lot of awesome play on words with that at our place, but because that's a for-profit connected to the coffee shop, we may have maintained a for-profit status. And it's been challenging. I'm not gonna paint that picture any. It's been an amazing journey, but there are definitely things that we have experienced challenges outside of COVID.
Let me ask you another question. Because you've gotten so much attention and television coverage on all of the news organizations, you said you just got interviewed the other day. I don't know for what that was, but I would imagine another TV type program. Do you feel like you're kind of getting overwhelmed with people who want to work there, families that would like their kids to at least try the experience? Even if it doesn't work out, can you at least hire them for a week or something?
Yes, yes. And we've had requests throughout the last 2.5 years of being able to franchise or license and take this idea of Rise Coffee and Tea to other areas because, just as you said, there are so many people who would love the opportunity to do more than bag groceries or to do more than fold towels. Like, wouldn't we all want our children to be able to learn to make a latte,
Oh, yeah.
to learn to take an order at a Square point of sale system, take money, open the drive-through window? We say, "Welcome to Rise. My name is Nicole. What's your name?" And they get to use these skills to be able to get to know our community and not just do a job.
And they get to bake there too. They're baking the products as well. So they're learning
Absolutely.
how to cook and how to actually, those end up being great lifestyle skills that you gain independence that way. When you know you can cook a meal for yourself, you know you'll never starve. It's kind of like giving a man a
Absolutely.
fishing pole kind of thing right there. So now
That's right.
we're speaking with Nicole Deward, who runs Rise Coffee Shop in Roswell. And I know you said Rise and Shine. You said you have another business that's right beside the Rise Coffee House. And can you explain a
Yeah.
little bit about that? And do any of those employees ever work next door?
So, as I mentioned before, I became a personal trainer back in 2008. And after working for several different people, realizing my entrepreneurial self needed my own space in order to do that. And so, our Shine Health and Wellness studio is actually a boutique style personal training studio that focuses on fitness.
Okay.
We do a lot of different therapies: massage therapy, detox therapy, vibration therapy, cupping, things of that nature. And we also have nutrition coaching. So, we offer weight loss. We offer people, there's a lot of people that are trying to grow muscle. So we have an in-body analysis that is a medical grade testing equipment that helps people with that, as well as nutrition response testing.
Mind, body, and soul, they all kind of go together.
Absolutely. We're looking at all kinds of things. So our staff, people always ask me, have you always, trained people with special needs? And I'm like, no. Even though my children, two of my four, have special needs, we attempted a little bit of training people with special needs at my first location. But when we moved to this location and combined, being next door to each other, we now have about 40% of our clientele have special needs at Shine Health and Wellness, because in personal training, the way we're all certified through the National Academy of Sports Medicine, where we focus on neuromuscular conditioning, how the brain connects to the body. So, of course, when you're thinking about special needs, most people, not all, but a lot of people with special needs have neurological issues. And so we want to be able to connect the brain to the body, and it shows up in so many other aspects of their life. So we're seeing people gain confidence, gain balance, build muscle, lose weight. They're getting more, as the more active they are, it's showing up in other aspects of their life. And so we have a lot of our staff and are also clients at the wellness center. And so there's a lot of crossover in that way. There's not necessarily jobs at the wellness center for, we only have so many towels to fold there.
It's funny because my son, I'm somewhat of a health nut
Yeah.
too, and I work out daily. And during the summer, I make my son try to work out with
Yeah.
me. And it's kind of funny to watch him do push ups or sit ups or anything because it's very difficult.
Mhm.
And that trunk control,
That's right.
and, typically kids who are on the spectrum, immediately how they kind of diagnose you is they know something's wrong because of the low muscle
That's
tone.
right.
And so these are things that, therapies and you get different exercises to help improve that. So it's nice to see that you are kind of connecting and that those young adults can transition and kind of get something right next
They get
door
both.
when they're also going next door to get paid to work.
That's right. That's right. And they love being able to be a part of the Rise and Shine community. And so it's given so much purpose for many of them who have aged out. My daughter is 20 and just graduated from high school, and now she's in Transition Academy. Well, at 22, then what? And so there's different levels of functioning in the autism world. I have my
For
19-year-old
sure.
has autism. We just sent him to college. We dropped him off last week,
Look,
and I'm like, this is amazing.
where did he go to school?
He is at North Georgia Tech College. And so he is
Wonderful.
early childhood development. It's a 2-year school, and there's a dorm so he can live on campus. And coming from someone, he is very independent. He loves himself a lot, is very okay with being alone. And he has become Mr. Social Butterfly since we dropped him off on Thursday. So it has been so fun just to see him really step into his independence. And that's been through a lot of therapy. Have done a lot of neurofeedback. I was watching some of your other shows and different therapies like neurofeedback we do nutrition response testing with him, as well as him just having an opportunity. He's been our sign spinner for our coffee shop for the last 2.5 years. So
I remember seeing him on TV and kind of being immediately drawn to him because of my own son and
that's
going,
right.
here's somebody who's totally high functioning and speaks pretty well, has ideas and thoughts of his own. And I know he's going to go places. And this is a great stepping stone that you have given not just to your own family and kids, but to other families and other kids that are going to go off into either transitional school or go off to college or just decide, what, maybe I'll stay at Rise and work here for,
That's
10,
right.
10, 15 years. So
That's right.
Nicole Deward here with Rise Coffee in Roswell, Georgia. Let me ask you a couple of personal questions.
Yeah, I
What
love
has
it.
been your biggest reward out of starting and just kind of growing Rise and Shine?
Well, I'll tell you, one of my favorite things is I mentioned as an entrepreneur, I love to get things started.
Right.
And I'm a action person. Something happens and I go right into action. Well, when I'm not there and I pull into the parking lot and the parking lot is full, I always think the parking lot is full and I'm not here. That is the greatest reward, knowing that things will go on. That's legacy for me. So the greatest reward is the things that you do here on this earth that will go beyond you when you're not around.
Yeah.
And so that, when I'm gone for a week on vacation, which I do often, I travel a lot with my coaching business. And so I'm gone often for that at leadership conferences and stuff like that. And I love that I have an amazing staff at both sides. I have amazing staff in Shine and management in Rise, and that they all take such great care of the staff and the clients and customers. And so I have full confidence in knowing that that legacy lives on outside of me, and it's was just started by me. And that is probably my greatest reward.
Right. And what would you say is your biggest challenge with Rise and Shine?
Well, being that we actually we were grand opening on March 21st, 2020,
Ugh,
which was Down Syndrome Day, but it was the week COVID hit the world. Yes.
yes.
And I remember thinking, okay, now what do we do? Because I'm in a 5-year lease. We just did this build out. We spent 4 months in build out. And I thought, what are we going to do now? And there was just this place of waiting and a lot of praying. We did prayer walks around the building. We were getting advice. And I remember opening the drive-through in April. Thank God we had a drive-through, because we were even doing where we had a tray and you would like pass the drink out in a tray so you wouldn't touch each other. It was the whole, And here I have staff with special needs, which a lot of them can be immune compromised. But it just
Sure.
so happened that my staff, I think I had one or two that couldn't come to work, but they all wanted to come. And so we served customers at the drive-through, and it was slow going. So by the summer, we have a 1,300 square foot facility for the coffee shop, which includes a conference room for private meetings and stuff like that. And so we were open, and people would come trickle in, right? It was like
Yeah.
little by little, and people were still nervous. And so it's taken time for people to really open up. And because we're a destination coffee shop, it's taken the news and interviews and marketing and things to get the word out about Rise, so that people that have special needs can have this amazing opportunity to shine their big, beautiful light in the world. That's really our purpose, is for that.
I love that. You turned your love light on, you've left it on. You were a light during the pandemic for not only those with special needs, challenges working, but also for people who still need their caffeine. And we're like, well, that business is closed and that coffee shop is closed, but there's a brand new coffee shop. And then to hear the story behind it, it makes your heart smile. It makes you smile ear to ear. Nicole Deward with Rise Coffee in Roswell. How can people get in touch with you? Social media? Can you give phone numbers, addresses, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you're in the area, one of the best landmarks for us is there's a Greek restaurant that's blue and yellow right on the corner of Sandy Plains and 92 called Euro Village. So we are set back in the Sandy Plains Village too, right back from the Euro Village. So that's a great landmark if you're from the Roswell, Woodstock, Marietta area.
I was just there that last night.
Oh, well,
I was having sushi across the street.
Yes, yes. So that's a great landmark right off of Sandy Plains and 92 in Roswell, 4651 Sandy Plains Road. The best way to get in touch with us is to go to our website. There's a contact us button, sends an email right directly to me. I have an assistant that I forward those to if I'm not available, but typically I do like to get in touch with anyone who reaches out. We have a website where people can order any of our shirts. We have our most popular shirt says, if you're going to rise, you might as well shine. And it has our logo on there, which is really fun. So people can support us that way. We also have subscription boxes where people can get their coffee sent directly to them. For $40, you get 2 pounds of coffee or a coffee and tea box with free shipping. And we ship all over the country and even to England. We have a customer that gets our stuff out in England. That's a great way to be able to support our mission.
I like that for the holidays right around the corner too.
Yes, we call that a Rise and Shine box we have as gifts that include our If You're Gonna Rise, You Might As Well Shine shirt as well. So all of that can be found on the website. We have Instagram and Facebook, Rise Coffee and Tea. Rise Coffee Tea is our link on Facebook and on Instagram.
So, Nicole, let me ask you a question. So, obviously, my son is a little too young to start work right now at almost 10 years old. What is a good age where you think that kids can really benefit? Because I remember I went to work rather young. Like the minute I had my, learner's permit, I was having my parents drop me off at work. When I got my driver's license, boom, boom, I was in it, right?
Yeah.
What is a good age, do you feel, that kids can come to you looking for a job, that they're responsible enough to actually take on the work? Because it is work.
It is work, right? Well, that's a great question, because as we know, with special needs, everyone has different levels of functioning and different maturity levels too.
Sure.
And I've seen people who are 14 years old with Down syndrome that could definitely do what I have a 22-year-old doing. And likewise with kids with autism, we have kids with CP. There's why we don't just serve one diagnosis, if you will, or it's all across the board. What we're looking for is, when we meet someone for an interview, do we see their light? And then yes, they may have special needs, and they're going to be different varying levels, but we want to make sure that the person that we're interviewing has a light to shine.
Yeah.
I remember meeting with this one girl, and she was brought by her mom, and she says, she's looking down, she goes, "I have autism." And I said, "Yes, tell me a little bit more about yourself." And she's like, "I don't like people." And I said, "Did your mom want you to interview for this job?" She goes, "Yes." So in those situations, I said, what would you like to do? And she lit up and she said, I love animals, and was looking at me. I love animals and I would love to do anything with animals. And I said, what if you went to your local
Vet.
veterinarian office and you could be a vet tech? And she goes, I could do that?
Yep.
You could. So part of my responsibility and role in all this is to find what lights people up and to give them an opportunity to shine. And that's not always in my location. It's
Sure.
not always in my world. So I have a lot of small businesses that I'm connected to in this area that I can help people get positioned where they're going to really shine their light in the world. And so I love that opportunity. And I really had to learn that just because someone has special needs doesn't mean that our world is the best fit for them. And so
I love what you're doing, Nicole. I think what you're doing is tremendous. Now that I know exactly where you are, I'm usually up that way. So I'm going to pop in, and then I'm definitely hitting you up in about 5 years when I need to get Lyric a job. I'll have him fill out everything on his own.
There you go. There you go.
And rise and shine with your company. You're doing
That's
amazing things, and I can't thank you enough for being on the show. One more time, how can people get in touch?
Yes, so you can connect with us on rise-coffeetea.com on our website. There's a contact us button that's really easy to find there, as well as on Instagram and Facebook, Rise Coffee Tea, all one word.
So in addition to phone numbers and websites and whatnot, remember to stop by their location, Rise Coffee in Roswell. It's right on Sandy Plains behind the Euro Village. And in that shopping center, you can stop by for a cup of joe, a cup of tea. And you would really be doing everyone, including your body, a favor who needs that caffeine. But more importantly, you're supporting people who are just entering the workforce and seeing if they can handle it. And Nicole...
That's right. One more thing, Gina, that I forgot to mention is we bake everything from scratch, and everything we have is gluten-free. So that's another reason why everyone should come visit us.
Another reason. So grab your coffee, grab your Danishes in the morning, stop by Rise and Shine. Of course, while you're there, you can always step next door and get a little personal train, get your workout in before you head to work. And again, we thank you so much, Nicole Deward from Rise and Shine Coffee right here on the show. And as we continue to live life with the spectrum, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe below. Let us know if there's somebody we need to be talking to. You can always DM me. No question is too big or small, and we can tackle that each and every episode here forth. So again, thank you so much for joining us on the journey with Life with the Spectrum. Till next time, see ya.
Bye.